do you have something else lined up? And the answer is no, I don't. I'm happy. And I think ultimately that's the main thing, isn't it? Hi guys. So I thought it would be a bit longer before I was making this video, but it's not. I recently did a post on Instagram asking you guys, telling you guys I did something massive and then asking what you thought it was. And so many of you guessed correctly. Quite a few of you didn't. Quite a few of you thought I was, I don't know, having a baby or getting married, which clearly not. But those of you who said I quit my job, congrats, you were right. And essentially, I wanted to make a video just talking you through my thought process, why I quit my job, and what's next. Because, you know, preempting the question that I'm getting everywhere whenever I tell someone now that I've handed my notice in is, do you have something else lined up? And the answer is no, I don't. So let's get into it. Okay, so in terms of thought process, so as you know, if you followed me for a while, I've been talking about leaving my job for quite some time now, and my main sort of worry, my main blocker that was stopping me from leaving initially was firstly losing income, because, you know, I'm building a house, so I need income, but also having that stability of a monthly paycheck where I knew exactly how much money I was going to get. So the fear of losing that was quite strong, and obviously wanting just to finish the house as soon as possible, but also leaving people that I liked. So I generally really like my team and I love my boss. I've had really horrible bosses, and it's not often that you have a boss that you generally like, that is really supportive, and the idea of leaving made me feel really guilty. But essentially, a lot of things sort of changed in my thinking, and the environment, for various reasons, became a lot different than it was. We had new people join. It started being a lot more sort of, let's just say it started affecting my mental health, and I didn't like that. I was more stressed than I wanted to be, and I realized that actually freedom and the ability to just chill and take a day off and spend time with my family when I want to, and have lie-ins and sleep and not have to go to bed at night stressing about the next day because I know there's a stressful meeting coming. All of that, I think, was more important to me, and I'm lucky enough now to be in a place where my house is mostly done. And with the money that I have already sort of put away, that I'm still going to spend on the house build, and with the money that I'm going to earn whilst I work my notice period, I will get a lot of it done, and it will be in a place where I can move in with the bare minimum. So yes, I won't have a lot of things, but I can just build on those as and when. I think freedom and mental health is a lot more important. I think for me, having the ability to spend time on things I like is also really important. And as you know, if you followed me for a while, I stopped having time to, for example, make content, and that was really important to me. I generally enjoy making educational content, and I feel like I got into a place where I was only sometimes making content, and most of it is just updates to things, and none of it is sort of new educational content, which we'll get into in what's next. And the last thing that sort of pushed me over the edge is the sort of starting to really force people back into the office, and the company started tracking whether people are in the office or not. And you know, I do think, obviously, that if you're signing up to an office-based job, you should be prepared to go in and all of that. But I think that with how things have changed, I'm personally more inclined to say that I care about work and your outcomes rather than where you're doing it from. And for me, none of my team pretty much were based in the same place as me. So I got really frustrated at the push to force people into the office when none of your team are based there. I understand if everyone you work with is in the same office, or if there's at least a few of your stakeholders or people you work with in the office, but trying to force people to go in just so that they can say that people are going in just didn't sit right with me. So all of these things combined over a set period of time made me make the decision finally that I don't really want to go back into the office, so I handed my notice in. I do have a long notice period, so I will be working until July, and then from August, essentially, I won't have a job. So this brings me on to what's next. So as I mentioned, I got to a place with YouTube where I was just making videos, or I have just been making videos that to me are far less enjoyable to make. So it's not that I don't like doing them, but I don't get joy out of making them. So for example, like portfolio updates and things like that. I do portfolio updates because I know that so many people enjoy them and so many people want to see them. And I feel a little bit of like an obligation to do them. Same with, house build updates, although I enjoy the house build updates. But yeah, a lot of updates, a lot of like content that I'm just doing because I have to in a way. And I've strayed away from doing the content that genuinely brings me so much satisfaction. So educational content, inspirational content. And I want to focus on that. So for a while, my main focus once I don't have a job is going to be trying to focus on creating content like that and seeing if I can sort of build up the income enough from that to sustain it and basically have a job that I really enjoy. And then obviously if it doesn't work out, then I will look for another job or something. This isn't me essentially retiring yet. I'm not in a place where I can do that and just sit back and relax and not work. I just want to try and have a job that I really enjoy. So going almost full-time into YouTube is going to mean that I probably need to do a bit more sponsored content, hopefully, if the brands are interested. But obviously that will hopefully mean that I can then spend more time on more of the educational content that genuinely brings me joy. Because in order to just do this and make that content, and I have so many books and courses and all this stuff that will help me educate myself and therefore help me bring that educational content to you. In order to be able to do that, I do need to have that income from sponsorships, from affiliates and stuff like that. So the one thing that I want to focus on telling you is that even when I make sponsored content, I'm never going to do it with like dodgy brands or like, I don't know, dodgy crypto companies or just any odd thing. 'Cause like some of the stuff that I get proposals for, oh my God, even if they offered me like £100,000, I would not promote that to you. But I just want you to keep in mind that just because you may not agree with a brand or a brand might not be for everyone, it doesn't mean that it's a bad brand, if that makes any sense. So just bear that in mind. I think most people are aware of this because I remember when I did my first ever sponsored video on this channel, I had people go like, oh, congrats, your first sponsored video and stuff like that. So fingers crossed that doesn't put people off. But just know that I wouldn't promote something that I don't think is a good product. The other thing that I'm going to do is continue teaching English. So I do have lessons every day, every evening, and I'm going to try and not increase the amount of students I have for now, but that is a backup that I can always lean on. So I do have a wait list of people who are interested. I can always open my calendar up on Preply and get more students if I need to. So that in itself is a bit of a backup plan. I may find a non-stressful job or less stressful job, because our only job is really stress-free in Poland, so that I can have things like health insurance. I will see how that goes. I need to sort of figure out how the system works, how it would work if I was self-employed. Is it worth it? All of that kind of stuff. So I will keep you updated. And of course, I want to heavily focus on investing again, because I want to get to a place where I can cover at least 50% of my bills with dividends and investments and things. So lots of stuff to sort before August. And hopefully my house will be ready enough to move into it by August. We'll see. If not, I may just be sleeping on the floor. Just kidding, like I'll live with my parents. But yeah, can you tell that I'm excited? Nervous and excited, but I think I've made the right choice. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Am I being an idiot? But I'm happy. And I think ultimately that's the main thing, isn't it? Because even if I'm gonna live a simpler life and I'm not gonna have everything I want, a finished house, everything like that, having that mental capacity of less stress and less of someone telling you what to do with your job and your time and everything like that, I think to me that's more important. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.